Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this press conference of Weir Motors. We're delighted that you're here to see not only that outstanding, exhilarating performance, but also to be here to participate in what we have as some exciting news. Can you turn the volume up? Is that better? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're excited to welcome you to the Weir Motors press conference. After that exciting, exhilarating performance by our trapeze artist, we're excited to be able to bring to you some exciting news regarding our product and the announcements that will be made. We welcome our friends of the press and media and the guests who are here today. Thank you for your presence. My name is Perriton. I'm president of Weir Motors, and excited that I've had the opportunity to participate in the emergence of this company and the outstanding products that are going to revolutionize the automobile industry. Truly, we are here with the electrification that is occurring in the automobile industry here and now. I'd like to introduce the speakers that we will have for you here today. First, we will hear from John Weber, who is the CEO of Weir Motors, and he will have some outstanding information for you. He will be followed by Kent Rathwell, one of our he's the founder of and CEO of Sun Country, a major customer of ours, and he will also give you some exciting information. He will be followed by an individual by the name of Glenn Weir. Glenn Weir is an owner of Western America Hotel, and he will tell you about what they are doing with us as a customer. Then I will introduce Bob Lutz, who will be our keynote and final speaker for our program. Thank you. John, would you mind coming forward?
Thank you, Alan, and candidly, I'd rather follow Alan than the trapeze artist. A little Federazzi, you'll listen to me. Thank you very much for joining us today. I've been with Weir Motors about 2 months now, and I must tell you I'm more excited about this opportunity than I have been about any opportunity in my 30-plus years in industrial and automotive companies. A little bit of background, I'm very familiar with the electric motor space. At one point, I ran the industrial motors portion of General Electric, and most recently, I was with Delco Remy. You are probably very familiar with Delco Remy, as many of the vehicles around us are started and kept running by Delco Remy starters and alternators. What many of you may not be aware is that Remy provided the hybrid electric motor generator set for the Yukon and the Tahoe historically. And today, Delco Remy provides the starter motor generator set for our vehicles. That's important for a very simple reason. They have over 1 billion miles of proven reliability. What our products at Weir are all about is proven reliability and economics for our end users. Inherently, because of the physics, electric motors will outlast and outperform internal combustion engines. What we've done is combine that superior performance with the extended range and economics of the internal combustion engine. I drove this vehicle and I love it. I can't wait to get my own. I have to take a number and wait behind our very critical and wonderful supportive customers like Verizon, Pacific Gas and Electric, Coca-Cola, FedEx, Duke Energy. All of these customers lined up and ready to take vehicles. I'm very pleased to inform you that we've successfully completed all of our crash tests, and in fact our vehicles outperform the stock vehicles in crash tests. We add infrastructure, we add frame to the bottom, when we crash them, they outperform the standard vehicles. I'm very pleased to have Cobo Center with us today. He's representing the Weir family of Mexico, who is our manufacturing partner. I'm very excited that they're up and ready when we begin production later this quarter. They're ready to go. They've been training on vehicles and are in terrific shape. I couldn't be more excited to have them as our partners and to have Cobo here representing their facility and their employees. Sun Country in Canada is an exciting story, and we're very lucky to have Kent here. I do have to tell you an amusing story. Kent and his partner, Glenn Weir, are from Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada. Well, I was born in Calgary, grew up in Winnipeg, Regina's kind of halfway in between, and I spent most of my summers in Regina, Saskatchewan. Now, most people have no idea where in the world that is, but I will tell you, it gets as cold as anywhere on the planet and as hot as anywhere on the planet. And if our vehicle can perform and deliver the economic promise in that environment, then we know, and we will be demonstrating what we already know, we have a clear winner. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Kent, and he can tell you about all the exciting things that Sun Country's doing.
Thank you, John. You know, for over 100 years, the electric vehicle industry has floundered, and that was actually the original foundation of Sun Country Highway. I'll wait for the train to go by. Sun Country Highway was developed to simply deal with the chicken or the egg issue, to simply pound out the electric vehicle industry in one of the largest countries in the world, one of the most geographic and climate diverse, across North America over the Rocky Mountains, and to provide an infrastructure that didn't require government funding to implement, and to implement an infrastructure whereby those who choose to go green can actually save it. They can actually travel coast to coast across Canada today with an electric vehicle, emission-free and at no cost. That was the first year's goal. We completed that in about 10 months and actually drove it in the middle of a Canadian winter to actually prove it. Now we're, after we finished the highway, we decided to simply electrify the majority of Canadian highways. We're en route to today, getting close to 90% of all Canadian highways, roads, and freeways with our electric vehicle infrastructure, which is the most powerful level 2 infrastructure in the world. On top of that, to prove to people that electric vehicles could travel, we created a race from the west coast to the east coast for the public to bring their electric vehicles into that race and not only scoot across the shortest distance, but actually get them off the freeway. The goal was to charge at the most charging stations, most Sun Country charging stations that they could. And with that, we actually had one of the electric Via vans as a chase vehicle to deal with any issues that the electric vehicles may have had. And that chase vehicle drove over 10,000 kilometers to deal with the situations that arose, which were basically tire blowouts. Sun Country Highway electrifies businesses. We try to prove to businesses that you can be more economically sustainable if you go environmentally sustainable. So by offering free charging, like free Wi-Fi, they can attract customers to their business locations and at the same time empower those who are trying to make a difference. Via's vans are the next phase of our implementation. So not only have we implemented the infrastructure now is to follow up with the electric vehicles, and that's basically getting our host locations to look at, to try, and to implement electric vehicles into their system, thereby reducing their operational expenses, going green, and having a competitive edge in the marketplace. The first Via vehicle coming to Canada is going to a Best Western hotel in Regina. The owner here is here. His name's Weir. You know, we take our hat off to Glenn because not only did he implement a charger there to allow people to charge for free when they're traveling through, even if they're not staying there for the night. He's now implemented the first shuttle van in the Best Western franchise, which will electrify their services between there and the airport, green their services, and actually save them money in the process. We have around 100 electric vehicle charging stations in the Best Western franchise. We're moving quite quickly with them as well as other partners. It was about a year ago, actually 2 years ago, time flies, today, when we were first introduced to Via here at the auto show in regards to what was possible with one of the most polluting vehicles out there and one of the most critical of vehicles for the Canadian marketplace with our rugged and rugged terrain and cold climate. So Bob Lutz was introducing that exquisite technology to the show here, and that's when we became involved. So today I announced that Sun Country Highway has put forth an $8 million commitment towards the VIA vehicles as the next phase in our implementation across Canada and heading into America here. And we've also signed an agreement committing us to $80 million worth of their technology for the rollout of our network across North America and beyond. So with that, I would like to introduce the first hotel shuttle owner in North America, the Best Western franchise, Mr. Glenn Weir of Regina, Saskatchewan.
Thank you, Kent, and thanks to VIA Motors for bringing me down here to speak at this fabulous North American Auto Show. Best Western hotels have 4,000 hotels globally. 2,400 of those are right here in North America, and I'm pleased to say, as Kent referred to earlier, that 100 of those now have Sun Country charging stations that are available for electric vehicles of all types to charge at. I'm proud to be the first owner of one of the VIA transporter vans. Pardon me. This is one of the most economical hotel shuttle vans in the world. As a Best Western hotelier, I'm a private owner, so economics means a lot to me because it means money in my pocket. I chose the VIA electric van for a few reasons. One of the main ones is we operate a hotel shuttle to and fro with the airport, which is about 15 miles away. So in a week we do about 60 what I would call short vehicle transportations, and to have a fully electric shuttle van is the right thing to do, both economically and financially for our property. With Best Western, our slogan this year is to stay with people who care. That was the reason in October why I purchased the VIA van. It's the right thing to do in moving forward with this future electrical movement that's taking place. And I'm proud to say at this time that I made the right decision in having the VIA transporter shuttle van and partnering with VIA Motors here today. Thanks very much.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Kent, and thank you, Glenn. It's now my privilege to introduce Bob Lutz. You all know him. He needs no introduction. I am personally proud of the long-term friendship that he and I have had and his contribution to the bringing out of the VIA Motors program. Bob?
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I've been announced as the keynote speaker. Usually when I'm keynote speaker, I talk for 35 to 40 minutes, and then there's 20 minutes of Q&A. I will definitely spare you that today. But I think congratulations are in order on the $8 million initial order from Sun Country and their ambitious project in Canada to electrify Best Western hotel shuttles. And that $8 million is part of an $80 million contract. So it's a really big deal. And I think the hotel shuttle passenger vans are an absolutely ideal application for VIA technology. Let's talk about pickup trucks. Pickup trucks are the best-selling vehicles in North America. They're the workhorse of the United States. Every tradesman, every craftsman, et cetera, has one or more pickup trucks. You could say they're absolutely essential to the American way of life. The problem is they do use a lot of fuel. There'll be a lot of problems as fuel ultimately becomes more expensive, or as manufacturers have to meet ever more stringent fuel economy regulations. VIA provides the answer. So on my right, we have VIA's first 2014 Silverado, codenamed K2XX pickup truck. So this is not the Silverado that you've seen in the past. This is the new Silverado equipped fully with Via's electrification hardware. So, it has a 40-mile battery range, very similar to the Chevrolet Bolt, and then a small General Motors Ecotec V6 engine, specially tuned to operate at a constant RPM, which will provide a minimum charge to the battery for another roughly 400 miles, depending on fuel use. If you use it like any other truck and don't watch your range, it'll achieve about a 50% saving in fuel economy. But for those applications that are urban applications or suburban applications with relatively limited driving distance and the ability to recharge, the fuel economy can become, like on a Chevrolet Volt, in excess of 100 miles per gallon. As was pointed out to my left is the poster of the extended range electric version of the Chevy Express passenger van with up to 35 miles of all-electric charge, unlimited range using the gasoline engine, and an average fuel economy anticipated to be, on average, about 80 miles per gallon. Again, ideal application for hotel vans. So, this is the first electric shuttle van which is on its way to Mr. Weir's Best Western Hotel in Canada. I'd like to say that, unlike the other automobile companies, including the one in which I was in charge of product development, we all started electrification at the wrong end of the business. We electrified small cars that don't use much fuel anyway. We really should have started here, because the full-size V8 pickup trucks, regardless of manufacturer, in an urban environment, is going to get 10 to 12 miles per gallon. We can get this up to 100 miles per gallon using VIA technology. So VIA is doing electrification at the right end of the business. And once the early adopters like Best Western, Verizon, FedEx, Coca-Cola, PG&E, and others report on how much they save and how much their drivers prefer driving the electrical versions, then we will start seeing the bottom of the hockey stick pick up and really move up in a rapid transition to electrification, unlike the lines we have often seen outside an Apple store for the new iPhone. And then we'll have another challenge, and in fact, VIA management has some of the challenge right now, which is that demand is currently exceeding the capability to supply, but that could occur down the road on a much larger scale. So, again, VIA has electrified the right end of the vehicle business. So, welcome to what we at VIA refer to as the E-Revolution. And now my keynote address is at an end, and I hereby give this microphone back to Alan Perriton, President of VIA Motors. Alan.
Thank you, Bob. Just to then summarize and cap, we have now an $8 million order placed on a $80 million commitment from Sun Country. We have Best Western as one of our first major hotel chains now to start deployment of the use of our vans for their services back and forth that they do on daily runs. We have also now identified for you, want to be sure that means you take a look at the truck behind me. One addition that we have added to this vehicle, which is an extended range electric vehicle with export power capability off of it, is now the addition of a solar panel tonneau cover, which will, under any driving condition, as long as there's some sunshine, will add anywhere from 5 to 10 miles additional range daily to the battery. So we're excited with that new technological development. Ladies and gentlemen, driving is believing. For those of you who would like to schedule a drive experience of these generation of electrification vehicles, please see one of the VIA representatives and we can make that arrangement for you. And while you're here, take a minute to access here the touch screen. This touch screen is set up so that you can experience the life-driving cycle costs of this vehicle to see in fact how the immediacy of payback can apply to you in your situation. We welcome you to the e-revolution. Bob Lutz, myself, John Weber, and other VIA executives will be here to answer any questions that you have following this. This is an economically viable project. As I've heard John Weber say before, you don't have to do it for green. You do it for economic reasons, and the green just comes with it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate your being here.